You scroll past another person's gain, your chest tightens, you feel left behind. You don't want to feel that anymore. I'm going to tell you the single thing that changed everything for me, and it has nothing to do with picking the right stock. I need to be honest with you. For the first few years of my investing life, I wasn't really investing. I was gambling. I was chasing. I was watching what everyone else was doing and then trying to catch up. And I want you to think about that feeling for a second. You open your phone, you see someone your age posting that they just turned $5,000 into $50,000. Your stomach drops. You feel like you're already behind, like the train left and you didn't even know there was a station. That feeling, that specific physical feeling of being left out of something, is the reason most people lose money in the market. Not because they're stupid, not because they don't have enough, but because that feeling makes them make decisions they would never make if they were calm. Here's what I learned. In 2024, the S&P 500 went up 25%. That's a fantastic year by any measure. But the average investor, they only made 16.54%. Do you hear me? The market handed them a 25% year, and they walked away with 16%. That's not because the market failed them. That's because they failed themselves. They got scared, they pulled their money out, they saw a dip and they panicked, they saw someone else making a move and they followed. And every time they made a move based on how they felt instead of what they knew, they lost. The gap between the best investors and everyone else isn't knowledge, it's emotional discipline. And that's the thing nobody talks about. Everyone wants to sell you the stock tip. Nobody wants to teach you how to stop being your own worst enemy.
I remember the exact moment this whole thing clicked for me. I was sitting at my desk, late night. The market had just dropped 15% in 2 weeks. Everyone was panicking online. Everyone was selling. Everyone was saying the world was ending. And I caught myself. I caught myself wanting to sell too, not because I had new information, not because my strategy had changed, just because I felt the fear. The same fear you feel right now when your portfolio drops and you see red numbers and your chest gets tight. And I remember sitting there and asking myself a question that changed everything. What am I actually scared of? And the answer was interesting. I wasn't scared of losing money. I was scared of being the only person who didn't lose money the same way everyone else did. I was scared of standing still while everyone else was moving. That fear, that specific fear of missing out, it has a name. It's called FOMO, and it is the single most expensive emotion in investing. Here's what the research shows. When FOMO peaks across the market, when everyone is excited, when everyone is talking about gains, when you feel like you're the only one not in on the secret, the market actually goes down by 1.7 to 2% over the following period. The data is clear. The people who feel the most left out are usually buying at the worst possible time. This is the part that nobody expects. The thing that helped me go from 0 to 100K wasn't picking the right investment, it wasn't timing the market, it wasn't having more information than other people. It was learning to be okay with feeling left out. Let me say that again because it's the whole thing. Learning to be okay with feeling left out. I had a friend who kept texting me about crypto. He was up 300%. Every single day he would send me charts. Every single day the number in his account kept going up. And every single day I felt like I was making the worst decision of my life by not getting in. I didn't get in. And then the whole thing collapsed, and I watched him lose most of what he made, and I watched the panic set in, and I watched him try to recover by making more emotional decisions. And I just kept doing what I was doing. That's it. That's the whole secret. I just kept doing what I was doing.
So let me tell you what I actually did, because this isn't just a philosophy. There is a system. There is a way to actually build wealth while everyone else is losing their minds. Rule 1. Automate everything. I set up my investments to come out of my account automatically every single month. I didn't time it, I didn't wait for the right moment, I just made it happen on a schedule, and I never touched it. Why? Because every single time you try to decide when to buy, you bring your emotions into the equation, and your emotions are wrong more often than the market is. You will always find a reason to wait. You will always find a reason to be scared. So you remove the decision entirely. Rule 2. Buy the whole market. I don't try to pick individual winners anymore. I buy the index. I buy everything. And by buying everything, I capture the growth of the entire economy instead of trying to guess which company wins. Here's what most people don't understand. The S&P 500 has returned about 10% per year on average for the last 50 years. If you had invested $500 a month for 30 years, just $500, you would have over $1 million. But almost nobody does that because it sounds too simple, because they want to feel like they're doing something more sophisticated, because the simple path requires patience, and patience feels like surrender. Rule 3. When everyone's excited, get cautious. When everyone's scared, look for opportunity. I know this sounds hard. I know it sounds like you need to be some kind of genius to do it, but you don't. You just need to be aware of what everyone else is feeling. Because when your phone is full of people making money and talking about gains, that's when the top is near. And when your phone is full of people panicking and saying the world is ending, that's usually when the bottom is near. This is not complicated. This is not secret. This is just what works. So let me tell you what this actually looked like in my life. I started with almost nothing. I wasn't making a lot of money. I didn't have some big inheritance. I just had a regular job and a decision to stop watching everyone else and start doing something for myself. I automated $300 a month into a simple index fund, and then I watched it go up and down and up and down, and every single time it went down, I felt that urge to do something, to sell, to wait, to protect myself. And I didn't. I just kept putting money in, month after month, year after year, and one day I looked up and I had crossed $100,000. Not because I was smart, not because I found some secret stock, but because I stopped making decisions based on how I felt and started making decisions based on a simple process.
Here's the part where you might get a little uncomfortable. The reason most people don't build wealth isn't that they don't have enough money. It's that they want to feel like they're doing something. They want the thrill. They want the win. They want the story they can tell. But real wealth, the kind that compounds quietly over decades, it doesn't feel exciting. It feels boring. It feels slow. It feels like you're not doing anything at all. And that's exactly why it works. Every time someone tells you about a hot tip, that's FOMO talking. Every time you see someone post a screenshot of their gains, that's your brain trying to trick you into making the same mistake they did. And every time you feel like you're falling behind because everyone else is moving, that's the moment you have to be most careful. The best investors in the world, people like Warren Buffett, they make the same move every single year. They don't chase trends, they don't get excited by what's popular, they just keep buying things they understand and they hold them for decades. And that's what changed everything for me. I stopped trying to win. I started trying to not lose. And when I stopped trying to not lose, I started winning. So here's what I want you to do. Right now, close this video and set up one thing, one automated investment, even if it's $50, even if it's $25. Set it up so it happens automatically every single month and you never have to think about it. And then put your phone down. And don't check it every day, don't look at the numbers every week, just let it work. Because the people who actually build wealth, they don't talk about it, they don't post about it, they just do the same boring thing over and over and over again for years. And then one day, they show up with a huge war chest and nobody even knew they were building it. That's the game, that's the whole game. Stop watching what everyone else is doing, stop feeling left out, stop chasing the next thing, and just start.